everybody. It's Ron and Pharaoh.
Little Caesar.
Little Caesar. And you're watching us on Loud TV. Thank you. We're really, really excited. It does really mean a lot to us.
Yeah,
it's such
awesome.
it is such a culturally important city and famous city. So many great stories of rock and roll escapades. And we're like, when do we get to go and make rock and roll escapades in Paris? So now we're actually going to get to do that. $1.1 million spent.
Crazy money.
Crazy money.
Rock and roll has changed.
Rock and roll has changed.
Without a doubt.
Nobody's getting paid Bob Rock money no more. Yeah. I think the machinery and the marketplace changed. That changed. Now, you have to understand that the Gene Simmons, the man that said that, what's dead is the amount of money he gets to make. This is not about the musical side. Gene is about the money side.
Yeah.
So to him, and I've had Gene say this to my face, it's not about the music. It's not about whether the pyro goes off. It's about how many shirts did you sell. And he's proud of that. He doesn't. If somebody quotes him, he's like, I said that's exactly right. So what he's talking about is the massive amount of excess revenue that he used to see 30, 40 years ago. Yes, that is gone.
Yeah.
But the music is not gone, and the fans didn't kill it. The fans just decided they weren't going to pay that much for it anymore. Now, Gene Simmons, of all people, should understand that's called capitalism. Sometimes, there used to be little stamps that somebody thought were worth $5,000, and then they found out, man, those stamps are actually all over the place. They only sell for like $3 now. That's what the market will bear. So,
of course, every market change, is
Definitely.
sorry, Gene. Sorry you can't buy any more mansions, dude. But that doesn't mean rock and roll's dead. Rock and roll marketing and money is dead. I agree with that.
The whole business has pretty much changed, but it's still, the people want the music and we're still making it. So, yeah.
Back in the 1900s, everybody had a horsewhip, Not many people have horsewhips anymore. Only the real passionate horse riders have.
Or the S&M people.
Yeah, that too. That's true. People who are into other kinds of fun. Yeah.
Different fun.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I have a lot of regrets, but if you're smart, regrets lead to change. And change leads to growth, and growth leads to happiness. I'm a happy motherfucker. But guess what? A lot of fucking pain. It took a lot of pain to get to the place of smiling. And I'm just grateful that I didn't do anything but the growth needed to get over those regrets. Yeah. See, this is an interesting correlation because we came up in the time period, we were competing against bands in the late 80s, that production was really important. A lot of production. Very slick, very expensive sounding records. I thought that was bad for music because it glossed over the performance aspects of those records, and they all became generic sounding. And the producers were the magicians, not the musicians anymore. And what's happened over 30 years is, yes, you can make a record cheaper and you can make a record more honest, but anybody can make a record now. And there's still an art form that has been lost about capturing great sounds, and that's still an art where a guitar sound is really great. And there's a lot of people putting out not the greatest sounding stuff, but we can't even hear it anymore because everybody's listening to it on earbuds and computer speakers, and it hides the weakness. So, right, and it's all changed. And, unfortunately, it's just the way it goes, It's like they used to build cars to last, and then they built cars to just, look good and fall apart in 5 years so you could buy a new car.
Again, I'm not really a blues player, but that my roots spread into, like, I wouldn't consider myself a blues player, but my roots go into, one of my first huge bands that I was way into was AC/DC, and obviously they've got huge blues influences. So by default, I start going into the blues stuff. So I wouldn't consider myself a blues player, but I'm definitely a rock player. Therefore, I end up in the blues genre occasionally.
Yeah.
You said which band? AC?
AC/DC.
Yeah, you never heard of them. They're a little
band out of Australia.
like Little Caesars, a pizza company. This is an electric company out of a little town in Australia. It's a little power company. Yeah,
they've done a couple.
Keep the
songs,
lights on for a few years down there.
Yeah.
The drugs tend to make people assholes, yeah. Because of COVID, you don't hear a lot about it, but there is a huge drug opiate problem. Huge. Hundreds of thousands of people.
Yep.
Hundreds of thousands of people going down. And that's because there was, like Gene Simmons, like music with Gene Simmons, there was big companies making a lot of money on getting people addicted to opiates.
Yep.
And then it went underground, and there was huge crime, and let's just say it's uniquely American in how expansive it is. And unfortunately, the same head in the sand denial has started to happen around a virus too. It's not really good.
So if you have money, you should invest in pharma
Yeah.
rather than record company.
Well, I did, but from the user side. Yeah, I was sort of one of the little men investors. No. We were down for at least
Over a year.
14 months, 15 months, yeah.
We did one show that was an online
Streaming thing. We did a few
yeah.
rehearsals and then just did the whole first record in its entirety.
Right. Yeah.
It's weird.
Very strange.
Talking into a camera and two camera guys hiding in the
Right.
corner so you couldn't see them, and trying to perform live when you're in this little room. And it was weird.
It came off well, but it was
not the
still
same.
It's
not the
without
same.
people there. Like the energy's definitely
It's
different.
like, okay, hi everybody out there. I'm going to masturbate now. Now this feels really good. I hope you're enjoying this as much as me. I'm really into it right now. This is great. I hope it brings back great memories. It's fucking weird, man. It's like kind of creepy.
Weird. It's weird. Yeah.
Weird but good.
That's a minute. It all feels good until someone catches you doing it, and we purposely were doing it on camera, so it's weird.
What to expect on this European tour?
A lot of gratitude,
Yes.
and introspection, and just enjoying, even when things don't go right, it's still great because it's not sitting at home.
Yeah. Because
So
we've been trying to get back out for, who knows how long, and everything just gets canceled and pushed back, canceled and pushed back.
And before we had to cancel because of COVID, we took one touring season off so he could become a proud papa of 2 kids. So, and he's like, man, it's like, me and Nikki's wife been trying to have a baby, and she's pregnant, and unfortunately for the touring side, not for my life side, but the babies are going to come right when I'm supposed to be out on the road, and I can't really be a responsible dad and leave this up to my wife, and we were like, nah, problem, bro. We'll pick it up next year.
And then I don't think I could have got out of that.
And then there's a fucking pandemic, and it's like, okay.
So shit.
What next year?
So here we are 3 years later. Can we do this now?
Yeah, can we? I think now. So we've been chomping at the bit for a while. So.
What about a new record next year? Or?
Once we get back off this tour, I know the next step is we got our live Jones off. We kind of got that out of our system. Now let's sit down and start. What kind of ideas have you been holding on to for the last 14 months? You know.
There's pieces and parts, but nobody's actually sat down.
Yeah,
and
no
been like, hey,
arrangements.
let's work on something and
Yeah.
get something together yet. But
It's always been a rush. Hey, we could do this show. We could do that if we do a few rehearsals. Okay, just
Yeah.
make it 2. I don't want to get together too much. There is a pandemic going, you know. So it's never been that just sitting in a room, that creative chewing up a riff with humming a melody, and then what if we kind of did this kind of thing for a chorus? And that's a lot of sitting in a room during a pandemic that just we weren't really
Not there
comfortable
yet.
with. Yeah.
but I'm sure that's going to be soon, though. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
because we all are triple vaccinated.
Yes, we are.